As tensions rise between Canada and the United States over trade disputes, there is a growing emphasis on purchasing Canadian-made products to bolster the local economy. However, understanding product labels can be challenging, particularly when distinguishing between Made in Canada and Product of Canada. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has encouraged Canadians to prioritize local goods over American alternatives, a sentiment that gained traction following U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement of tariffs on Canadian products. This has led to increased interest in buying Canadian, but consumers often find themselves confused by the labeling terminology. The distinction between Made in Canada and Product of Canada lies in the percentage of Canadian content used in the product. For non-food items, the Competition Bureau of Canada sets a higher standard for products labeled as Product of Canada, requiring at least 98% Canadian content. On the other hand, Made in Canada labels for non-food items require a minimum of 51% Canadian content, but must also include a statement indicating that the product contains imported materials. In both cases, the final significant transformation of the product must occur in Canada. Misleading claims can result in penalties, including fines or imprisonment. For food products, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency (CFIA) provides voluntary guidelines. A product can be labeled as a product of Canada if nearly all its major ingredients, processing, and labor are Canadian. This means that any non-Canadian content must be minimal. The terms Canadian and Product of Canada are interchangeable and convey the same meaning. Conversely, a Made in Canada label with a qualifying statement indicates that the final significant transformation took place in Canada, even if some ingredients were sourced from other countries. Experts emphasize the importance of supporting Canadian businesses during the ongoing trade war, as U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods and Canada's retaliatory tariffs on American products are set to take effect. Melissa Tehrani, a partner at Gowling WLG, notes that the Buy Canadian movement is gaining momentum, which could help mitigate the economic impact of tariffs. She also highlights the need for Canadian companies to source more raw materials domestically to reduce reliance on imports. Daniel Treffler, an economics professor at the University of Toronto, stresses that purchasing Canadian-made products supports local manufacturers and farmers, preventing job losses and inventory buildup. He advises consumers to focus on labels that indicate Made in Canada or Product of Canada, rather than striving for perfection in identifying Canadian content. Similarly, Mike Von Masso, a food economist at the University of Guelph, explains that Product of Canada labels on food items signify that the product is almost entirely produced in Canada. For those seeking more detailed information, additional details can often be found on the packaging. In summary, while the labeling system can be complex, consumers are encouraged to prioritize products labeled as Made in Canada or Product of Canada to support the local economy. Whether it's food or non-food items, these labels provide a reliable indication of Canadian content and production, helping consumers make informed choices during these challenging trade times.